All right. Got some adjusting to do, some learning to do. It's been a long time. Let's see. Still got like 15 minutes before I even told people I was going to be on here. So I've got some shit to figure out. I'm going to catch everybody up on a bunch of stuff. That's why one of the reasons I put in the title, Probably Talking to Myself. What's up, Joseph? So I didn't know how many people are even still going to be getting notifications for my videos. Yeah, see, there's all kinds of shit. That's why I was like, I wanted to start a little early and make sure I'm covering everything I need to cover. So you're going to see me squinting and looking into the computer a lot because I'm trying to remember all this shit. And what's up, Mutt Free World? Fuck Fluffy indeed. So everyone can hear me, and if you can't, please let me know. My computer, there we go, did an upgrade. Hey, Asher. So I'm just relearning the whole fucking computer on top of relearning how to do any of this shit. What's up, Serena? Awesome. You guys can hear me. Everything's great. So I'm in my extra house that I've also converted into my gym because I've been doing a lot of working out, and I'm smoking because I still smoke. Yes, you're still a mod. I noticed that too. I was like, hell yeah, cool. I wonder if everything's still the way it should be. Gling said she would be here today. Chef Muttmeat said she would be here today. So I'm just happy anybody's here. So I'm going to catch everybody up on a bunch of shit. I'm still a dog hater, still talking shit. Um, but as you know, I wanted to convert the channel to be about more than just dog hating. I am a woman of contradictions. Hey, I can work out, and still smoke. Come on. Some people have been part of that journey. I'm going to basically just catch everybody up on what the hell I've been doing for all this time. Some of you actually are friends of me on Facebook and see it. What's up, Alisade? Guys, I'm so glad to see everybody. Some of you guys follow me on social media. Some don't. I've been trying to get everything going. So I got the fancy internet and it's mine. The last time I had someone renting this extra house out and using it as a gaming studio, and that's how we had the fancy internet. Now I've got the fancy internet, so I'll catch everybody up on a bunch of shit. First of all, your girl got her eyebrows done. How you like that? Ah, got them tattooed. I got a cosmetic surgery is what I keep telling people. um, so that was cool because you guys might have remembered. I know this is all stupid, but we're going to fill the next 10 minutes in with stupid shit until, the last handful of people might show up. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. Um, I was growing my eyebrows in and they just wouldn't come back in because back in the 90s, I'm almost 40 now, people. So, back in the 90s, we used to trim our eyebrows real thin, and now they're finally, they were coming in, but they were all spotted, and I looked like I was sick and shit. And I was like, all right, let me go get some professional help. Not for my noggin, which I probably could have done, but for my eyebrows. So now they're much better. And then I got to do another touch up. So, but I'm pretty happy with it. Uh, got a car. Okay, so no more walking and riding a bike everywhere. Pretty happy about that. So many changes. Working more than ever. Business has been taken off. Son's doing great, talking a lot more. Finally got his diagnosis for autism and shit, but apparently I make too much money, so they're not gonna do shit, and they took his insurance away. So there's that. I was like, well, shit. I'm like a Rockefeller up in this bitch. So that happened. After being sober for almost 3 years now, was able to reconcile with my son's father, which, he had made his mistakes in the past. I had made plenty of mistakes in the past. And so we are a happy family and everything's been great. It's funny how easy things get when you get control of your emotions and take accountability for your own bullshit, which is what happened to me. And so life is fantastic. And so I'm engaged now. We're going to get married. Happy little perfect family. Little to no problems. I know, right? Hey. little to no problems in my life. In fact, I told someone the other day, I said, I have no problems in my life, not a single fucking issue. So, as a white lady in America, I'm going to create one. Hey, Slime, I don't have a good enough stereo in my house. So I went and got me a big badass TV and a big loud ass stereo and a big expensive receiver unit to go with it. And now I just blow all my barking dog neighbors out the water. I was telling Quasar about it the other day. I said, check this out. And I sent her a clip of it. And I said, it's for all these barking dogs, you know. So that shit just blasts. I'm just waiting for the fucking cops to show up. So it's become like my answer, you know, when they get to barking or carrying on. I just turn on something very, very annoying. Oh, good for you, Serena. I got to work on my smoking thing at some point, but, you know, one thing at a fucking time. I did all right when I tried, and then I failed terribly. It's Glig. Good to see you. I just said you'd be in here. So, yeah, lots of good stuff. Lots and lots of good stuff. Lots of changes. Nice new car. We're enjoying the shit out of that. Oh, let's see. I want to talk about a book I've been reading, but we're going to talk about that later. Stomped a pit bull a few months ago. Hell yeah. And lived to tell the story. That's the more impressive part, you know, because those motherfuckers are dangerous. So yeah, life's gone really fucking well. Let's see. We'll go through the exercise thing real quick because I don't want to be that guy who brags about gyms and working out and being in shape. And, you know, people don't want to hear all that shit, especially if you're going through your own journey, your own path. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. I'm just telling you what's worked for me and why and how. And, you know, I packed on a couple extra pounds I didn't like. Then I got thinking to myself, like, wait a minute. I'm going to be 40 soon. I'm right there. And I want to be in the best shape of my life. I want to do a whole bunch of self-improvement and go through a lot of positive changes. Everything's going so well in my life. I want to add to that. And so I did. So I've been on 2 months of working out with a trainer now and 4 months of where I was just walking and kind of doing my own thing. So I've gotten a lot of muscle tone. I've already lost those few pounds that I didn't want. I feel great, and I changed up my diet, and I'm just all high protein, low carbs, using an app on the phone to do it. So there's that. I won't go full. I'm not like Sarah Connor, although people have said that to me before. But I did post my progress pictures on my Facebook page, and got a lot of positive responses. Gling says there's an old man that rides past on his bike, and he has a pregnant pit bull running loose behind him. Makes me so mad to see that thing loose. And Slime said life is good. This Halloween on November 1st, I'll celebrate the time my bad neighbors moved away. Fuck yeah. And thank you, Serena. I do. I feel great. I'm gaining all kinds of muscle mass. I've got to learn some better like poses and shit, but other than that, let's move on. All right. I was trying to think of anything else I wanted to discuss. This video is just going to be shenanigans. Just me catching up with everybody, describing some shit, smoking, sitting on my ass, just explaining where life's gone. William's dad, his name is John. He got the 3D printer up and running and was printing little snakes and trains and shit. Me, I'm over here like, what's the functionality? Because I'm very much like that. I'm like, what does it do? You know what I'm saying? Like, but what does it do? You know, not everything has to have some functional purpose, but I'm that kind of person, you know. I'm all like, well, what's it do? You know, but it made really cool shit, and it's more fun, I suppose, than anything. Cosmo says I've been training a lot of people myself. It's been fun. And Chef Mutt Meat says, howdy, howdy, howdy. We're so glad to see you, dude. So I did save a couple emails, so I wanted to make this video a pish posh of me just letting everybody know what I've been up to, where I've been. Obviously, you know, getting the car and taking care of bills and the fancy internet and all that bullshit came before this, and I had to update the computer, all this bullshit. I mean, my computer was way behind. I didn't even know if this shit was going to work today, so this was really just a tester, okay? So, but we're here, we're doing it. So let's look at a couple of these emails, and once again, you're going to see me doing that squinting thing where I'm like, I don't know how to fucking operate my technology. we're also going to keep, okay, because someone's been showing me ways to project the images and stories and everything else, and that's great. I've noticed that YouTube is really hitting people hard over the images. It's saying certain words, all this shit. And if you look back over, they've never removed any of my shit or hit me for anything. So I'm thinking if I just stick with what I'm already doing and possibly just to show some of the shit on my phone like I've been doing in the past is probably the safer way to be. Okay, it's just me. I just assume that I'm right about this. Okay, so, you know, we'll see. And we'll see if this link is about to work. So here's this article that I found incredibly interesting. And like I said, I sent a couple of these emails to myself. I wanted a few things to talk about in between everything. I want to stick to the fact, like I said, I want to talk about other shit other than dog hatred, but I'm a dog hater at heart, so that's going to come up. So I want to kind of blend those things with my videos and want to start talking about what it was like going through probation, or as some of you know, I'm a felon, what it's like being charged as a felon, my journey through life, what I've learned from it, all these different things. I've got a lot of ideas and things I want to do, but I've got to pace myself and really put it down and really figure it out. And right now with the holidays and shit, we got a lot going on. So let's go through this article it's from Forbes. 54% of dog owners have regrets about getting a dog, which to none of us is shocking. But apparently to everyone else in America it is. And we all experience this all the time. You've heard IHD talk about it. You've heard Chef Mutt Meats talk about it. Mutt Free World, I've seen you touch on it as well. These people claim to like these things so much, but they constantly seem incredibly irritated, frustrated with them, yelling, screaming at them, all this shit. This person says, I'm the one who has to completely take care of everything, even though everyone else promised they would, says one dog owner when asked if they had regrets about getting a dog. Other dog owners expressed similar frustrations. A new Forbes Advisor survey of 2,000 dog owners showed that 54% have regrets about getting a dog, and of those, 27% have strong misgivings about dog ownership. The unconditional love of a dog has a big motivating factor for many to get their canines. This is that picket fence story Quasar and I are always talking about. It's the story, the dream, the idea that's sold to people of dogs is a story. It's a great sounding fantasy, but it's not real. Okay. 56% of dog owners who got their furry friends for companionship, but the responsibilities that came with caring for a dog could be challenging. One dog owner with regrets says, it's like a baby. I can't just take off. I have to make arrangements. Um, that's one of the biggest things I find with people, even if they think they have well-behaved dogs or whatever the fuck's going on, that they constantly have to make arrangements and take care of these things and find someone to watch it and feed it and pay all this money. And I just, holy shit, I'm cool. So the Northeast has the highest percentage of dog owners with regrets, and the Southwest has the least. Okay. Northeast, with an average of 68% of people regretting getting these dogs. Midwest, 48%. And at the West Coast, where I live, we're talking 42%. Okay. While no one disputes dog owners' love for their dogs or the benefits of dog ownerships, the challenges can be many. Remorseful dog owners cited many issues that trigger regret about dog ownership. Among the top reasons they regret getting a dog were the messes, challenges in finding care for the dog, and dog training. Okay. The main reported problem, percentage-wise, from people on their regrets of getting a dog is cleaning up after the dog hair, and then they put etc. because they don't want to say shit and piss and vomit. Okay. Finding care for them while they're traveling, training them, the cost of having them, the barking, whining, and other noises. Health issues, urination or defecation indoors fell at 22%. Walking the dog, letting the dog out, dog escaping, finding lost dog, disruption of my sleep, socialization of the dog, destruction by the dog, biting, 18%. And that's only the ones that are confessing and talking about it. Let's be very clear. Because as we all know, it's only the ones who will actually discuss it. So let's see what some of you guys have to say before I keep going here. I'm very happy to be live too, Asher. Thank you. Chef Mutt Meat's so happy to see us. I've missed you too. No, they haven't. I took down some of my own videos, but aside from that, no, they have never taken down any of my shit. Said Serena says my mother-in-law can't even come to Thanksgiving because of her 2 months that need someone to watch them. Actually, I'm dealing with the same thing with a family member. It's William's grandparents and their dogs, and everywhere they go with them, it's crazy. Jesus. So yeah. Anyways, all right. What do we got? Just rolling through some comments here. Let's get back to what the hell we was reading. If my thing will go. There we go. Many dog owners can't afford the vet bills. No shit. The cost of dog ownership has forced some dog owners to skip routine veterinarian visits, take a pass on emergency surgeries, and or not buy medicines for their dogs in the past year because they couldn't afford it. I was on a Facebook thing the other day that's from a ranching community I used to live in. And this person says, is it legal for me to put my own dog down on my own property? Man, you wouldn't believe the comments, or probably you would believe it. Everyone's, oh, it's no. See, if you can't afford to take care of the dog, you shouldn't have it. And and just you should take it to the vet. It's more humane. And this farmer is like, it's more humane than me putting a bullet in its head. You want me to take it? You want to pay for the trip to go do it? And everybody's just, outraged with this guy. And it's disgusting, dude. And then a couple of rational people are like, yeah, you can totally shoot the dog. This is a ranching community. You're allowed to euthanize your own pets on your own land as long as you're not putting anyone else in harm's way. 31% of dog owners say they can't afford up to $2,000 in vet bills, even if the treatment could extend or potentially save the dog's life. No shit. 65% can't afford vet bills under $5,000, which is all way too fucking expensive. And here, of course, they take the opportunity to try to convince you to buy pet insurance because that's what everybody needs. We live in a fucking time where people can't even afford to insure themselves and take themselves to the doctor. So yes, make sure and get insurance for your fucking pet. Okay? So then they list all this shit off and carry on. This is just fucking ridiculous. And just go through all the reasons that someone should get pet insurance. Give me a fucking break. Like I said, Jesus Christ, it's like a baby. You can't eat babies, weirdo. Exactly. This is all so stupid, dude. It really is. Chat messed up. Well, hopefully it stops fucking. Or, okay, I was reading, now they're using AI and YouTube like a motherfucker, and it's spotting like trigger words and shit like that. Okay, so they offered me to make manager moderators, which means you guys can dance around these trigger words or allow them and shit. So probably after this weekend, when all these events are over, I'll take some looks and I will see what I can do about flexing some of that up and allowing some of the words and getting them to chill the fuck out. Dude, YouTube, man. It's a love-hate relationship. It's this excellent platform where people like me can talk to people like you, and we can all get together and share like-mindedness and all this shit that's supposed to be fantastic. I couldn't find a lighter, so I'm using my hookah coal igniter, dude. And there's the other side, man. And all this AI stuff. That shit is all just wild, It's something probably could be used for good, and it is going to be used for all kinds of crazy shit. Slime says dogs are described as face-ripping machines and ear-raping machines. I'd have to say I completely agree. So let's get into another email. Like I said, this won't be a super long stream. I was just curious if I was even going to be able to start any of this shit and run it, if the computer was going to work. But hell, I'm sitting right next to the modem and stuff. I'm thinking we're going to be pretty good. And what I'll do is, like I said, we have a lot of events. We're doing something with the Crisis Center on Friday. And then Saturday, we're doing the Halloween party at our house here for the children. No, I didn't see your comment. They're being dicks. I was trying to tell Ashley I have a grandson now. He's 8 months old and his name is Noah. Cutest little. Oh, congratulations, Gling. New life. That's beautiful. I'm so proud and happy. Yo, Crab Soup, how are you? So then we've got, yeah, Halloween party Saturday for the kids. Sunday is an event called Family Fun Days in town that we're helping with. And then Monday is trunk or treat, and we've got an event there and we're handing out candy. So it's this whole fucking thing. I'm so happy for you, Glig. I can't really describe how happy I am for you. So what we'll do is we will go through another email. I'm going to talk to you about this book. That's another thing I want to start doing every so many videos is sharing books. I read fucking books about everything. You'd be surprised. I know I sound like a retarded hillbilly. It's because I am. But I'm a well-educated retarded hillbilly, so don't you forget that. I will be trying to stream regularly again. Things are slowing down. Work's been slowing down. I do vacation houses in the summer, and that shit's been off the fucking chain. All right. And man, have I made a lot of money charging people extra for having fucking pets. I ain't playing with these motherfuckers. And I get like that too. I get all serious. I'm like, no, if you got pets around, I got to charge you extra. I had a lady who was babysitting someone's pet, and I'm like, if that fucking thing is here again and I have to clean up after it again, you are paying me. It costs me a shit ton of, and the charges are so high that I've deterred people. Naturally, I don't know how it happened. All right. Like none of my customers have dogs. Now the vacation houses, I can't control that or go yes or no, right? And the money's big, so I take them. But somehow, like all of my customers have cats, and I can handle that. Cats run off and hide. Thank you, Serena. I miss my horse videos. I hope to get back to that one day. I'll be a horse riding dog hater again. It's gonna happen one day, and so I can't control that. But like none of my customers have dogs, and one of them's like, "Oh, I miss my dog. I'm thinking about getting another one again." And I'm like, "You ever seen one attack a child?" And she's like, "What? No, oh God," like I'm out corrupting everyone. I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's terrible. And if you get a dog, I'm charging you a lot more money to come in here." And they have not gotten one. Horses are incredible creatures. I have a lot of people say they're terrified of them, that they've been attacked, all this and that. That'll happen. You have to have a certain way about you to train and deal with horses. Otherwise, the horse needs to be trained and well suited for people, so that's that. So, yeah, lots of good shit coming in the future. Life's just going to continue to change. So, regular streaming, yes. I'm gonna shoot for trying to go back to Fluffy Fridays at 5. Wow, I haven't said that in a while, so it kind of stumbled through my mouth. So, glad the businesses are doing well. I was making pretty good money before I went back to school a couple months ago. School will do that to you. Chef Mutmy says, my sister runs an Airbnb on her property. She charges 200 plus additional fees for dogs and small dogs only. One of the houses I go through is small dogs only. And he is very strict about that. And I'm thankful. Horses have been more useful to humanity for most of our history, especially within the past couple centuries before the Industrial Revolution. Then I tell people all the time this country was built off the back of a horse, that infrastructure, everything came from them. They've been used in war. They've been used in factories. It's insane, the use, and they enjoy when they're properly worked with, the use of their work. So I'm really glad everybody's here. Cosmos was being the guy in the padded suit who was getting kicked in the balls. I kept picking on him about it. He's like, it's not just ball kicking. And I'm like, But, thing I've learned, okay. All right, well, Slime, if we don't see you, I'm so glad you're here. Thing I've learned about money and side money and making money is holding on to it. You got to hold on to that shit. And it took me 35 years on this planet to learn that. Okay. got to hold on to it, and that way you've got it when some shit goes down. So that's what I've been working on for quite some time. So I know it's not just groin kicks. Let me go into, and I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about, so maybe I'll remember. Maybe I won't. I probably won't. Okay. Let me see here. I know I sent some other ones. Maybe I didn't. Damn, I suck. So what I'll do, bear with me as I poke around my computer. Because there was a recent article that I definitely wanted to cover. That's not it. 1 second. And then if I don't find it, then that's my own goddamn fault. So here's just a couple stories. Yeah, and this was one of them I actually wanted to cover. As recently as October 18th, 2023, a loose pit bull killed a 4-year-old boy in Detroit in the West Side, and the dog pulled him through a gap underneath a fence. Okay. 4-year-old boy is dead after being mauled by a pit bull. The attack occurred about 3 p.m. The child was playing in the fenced-in backyard of his grandmother's home when the dog grabbed the child through the fence. So he's in his own yard. Okay. Oh, God. I hate these fucking things. I hate these people. Detroit police, Arnold Williams had told she actually had to pull the child away because there was a dog that mauled the child, tried to pull the child under the gate of the fence, and she was pulling the child away. The pit bull did pull the child under the fence and then killed the boy. EMS pronounced the boy dead at the scene. Animal control took 2 dogs into custody. Police are still investigating the dogs involved and the owner. Family members told WBJK that they are terribly distraught. As we know in Detroit, pit bulls are a big problem. And when you don't have them trained properly or tied up or properly secured, the relative said, this could have been prevented if the dog had been secured. I disagree. The tragedy is with the family, and all we can do for everybody and for everyone who's looking at this is to support the family in this process. So we're trying to do everything we can just to help everyone through this. The loss of a child who hasn't even really started their life is just something huge that no one can really fathom. As an adult was home with the child at the time, family members believe the culprit dog belonged to a neighbor. They identified the child killed by an unsecured pit bull as Lavelle Anderson. At the time of the attack, he was under care of his grandmother. His parents were not present. The news agency also states the dog managed to grab Anderson and pull him to the other side through a gap under the fence before fatally attacking him. One of the 2 dogs taken into custody is believed to be the attacker, and the other is a family dog that belongs to the boy's grandmother. Say, kill them both. WXYZ spoke to Maple Blackshear and Monique Grant, who are sisters and the boy's aunts. Blackshear and Grant said the boy was only a child. He was visiting his grandmother's home and playing in the backyard when they were told the neighbor's dog jumped the fence and attacked. The family retained an attorney. The event was so horrific that people across the street could hear it taking place. They're the ones who contacted the authorities. According to police, the dog then dragged the boy back to the other side through a gap in the fence. Neighbors from a block away heard the grandmother's cries for help. One neighbor thought someone was getting beat. By late Thursday, the dog's owner had not been identified or charged. Media reports suggest the dog was a stray and had been seen by neighbors wandering the street previously. It's still too soon to know who the owner is or if the city has any liability. Wayne County in Detroit has a long history of fatal pit bull attacks. The county's 1.7 million population is smaller than San Bernardino County, California at 2.2 million, and Harris County, Texas at 4.7 million, the other 2 leading counties in fatal dog attacks. So take note of that. The fatal pit bull mauling issue is so persistent in Wayne County that a case study was published in 2007 that characterized pit bull mauling deaths in Detroit in April. Daniel Borenkarski, 58 was killed by two pit bulls who were, while he was staying in a vacant building in Detroit, apparently. In late September, a northeast suburb of Detroit, Grosse Pointe Shores, which is partially located in Wayne County, passed an ordinance banning pit bulls. The ban passed in a 4-3 vote. However, the backlash from pit bull advocates and humane groups that largely reside outside of Grosse Pointe Shores was so extensive that the city reversed the ordinance less than 4 weeks later. Detroit and Wayne County still retain the undesirable title as the dog-fighting capital of the United States. Oh, and here's the other story I wanted to read about. Let me hop over and see what you guys are up to over here. Get rid of this. This stupid thing. Like I said, it's so sad. Children aren't safe in their own yards. Yeah, I know. This is all. Does anyone here know K Nunn? Yeah, I miss K Nunn. So I used to email with K Nunn. Let me take a look, Crab Soup, and I'll let you know. William is doing fantastically. He is very happy. He's been talking a lot more. He's doing incredibly in school. He's super happy to have his father. Just the happiest kid. And man, he loves the car. He just is just life doesn't get much better for this kid. It's Red Ribbon Week, so we've been taking him to all these different things. We got all these Halloween events, and the house is all decorated, and he's living the flippin' dream to be a child. So October 12th of 2023, and this is coming from dogsbite.org, by the way. Tomball woman, 59 years old, was killed by a pet Rottweiler in the backyard of her home in Northwest Harris County. So, as you know, they just noted San Bernardino, Harris County in Texas, and Wayne County in Detroit, 3 of the highest dog attack fatality counties in the United States. Woman killed by Rottweiler. She's dead after being attacked by one of her own dogs in her own backyard. Okay. Deputies responded to a residence, and they've listed the address off, after receiving a call from the victim's 30-year-old son, who'd found his mother unresponsive. Upon arrival, deputies found the woman surrounded by blood. Multiple dogs were in the backyard, deputies said. One of the dogs, a Rottweiler, had blood all around its mouth. The victim was transported to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. The Rottweiler was euthanized, apparently at the scene, and 2 other dogs were transported to animal control. The sizes and breeds of those dogs were not released. Well, if they were just simple little lap dogs, they'd say it. Investigators are now waiting on autopsy results to see if the other 2 dogs were involved in the fatal attack. They're going to check its stomach contents. This is the 6th fatal dog mauling in Harris County since November of 2021. Most of the attacks occurred in jurisdictions outside of Houston. So that's just one county, okay? The entire incident is under investigation. We're still working on a few things, but it appears to be consistent with an attack by the Rottweiler dog. I've told you guys how I feel about shit-weilers. Fucking pieces of shit. Ugh. And now a dog trainer is going to kick in. Rottweilers are an aggressive breed due to being bred historically for guarding purposes. He also made the interesting comment of how Rottweilers can start treating their owners like an employee. They've been bred to be working dogs, and they possess a little bit of aggression because they were also trained and bred historically to be guard dogs. Sometimes they will assume the role and guard the house from strangers, because if they start becoming a little aggressive, they will start treating their owner like an employee. That doesn't sound like these should even be around people. Just get rid of them. The victim has been identified as Jessica Flores Walters. She was found Sunday, at an undisclosed time and covered in blood, as was her pet Rottweiler. The victim was still alive, Constable Herman said. She was transported to a trauma center in the Woodlands, where she died of her injuries. A report that all 3 dogs have since been euthanized, indicating the other 2 dogs in the backyard had also participated in the fatal mauling or cannot be excluded from participating. So you got November 2021, Tiffany Frangione, 48, was killed by her own 2 dogs in the backyard of her Houston home. February 2022, Drew Parker, 4 years old, was killed by 4 pit bulls while visiting his aunt's home in Baytown. In June of 2022, Nicholas Vasquez, 51, had died after being brutally attacked by 3 pit bulls in Huffman. And in August 2022, a 43-year-old man was killed by dogs in Channelview. In February of 2023, a 69-year-old man was killed by 2 pit bulls that got into the backyard of his Houston home. Notice the dates, or the ages, vary, and the genders. You're not quite safe unless you're ready to fight with these things, if you're ready to defend yourself. Just yesterday in Katy, which is part of western Harris County, 2 pit bulls attacked 3 people, including a Harris County Sheriff's Office deputy, leaving an 83-year-old man with critical injuries. The attack was captured on a neighbor's Ring doorbell camera. The man's stepdaughter grabbed an umbrella and started beating the pit bulls. A bystander jumped out of the car and tried to help and was bitten as well. A Harris County deputy who was bitten multiple times opened fire on the dogs and killed them both. I seen an IHD video the other day where he was talking about a woman who had shot the dogs. And he's like, why do you think cops are always shooting these things? Because they got the fucking gun, right? If you had the gun on you, you'd be doing that. You'd be defending yourself, right? So, come on. Oh, let's see. Oh, Slime. You got your braces removed. Nice teeth. That's awesome. I'm happy for you. Enjoying those brace-free teeth. I hate them all, Gling said. I agree. Any type of bully breed needs to go. What's up, 4-legged plague? Long time no see, dude. Ah, man. So good to see you. Got guns. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. I'm glad to be back, man. Glad to be back. Are you still doing videos? I need to go look. Everything's been off my phone lately, so I stopped fucking with it because I'm going to kill the battery on my phone. And so I'm trying to just watch YouTube and wind down at night. I'm doing all my business stuff off my phone. It's just everything was on my fucking phone. So now I can do everything here and give my phone a damn break. And now I got the fucking smart TV and shit. Oh, we did not get along for very long. I don't know where he's at. I tried to make peace with Vox on his way out the door. That did not work. He's got some issues he needs to work out. And I hope he does. Because I wish the best for people. I don't want anything bad for anybody. You guys just had twin boys. Dude. Gling's got a new grandson named Noah. You guys just had twin boys. That's so fucking awesome. Man. See? It's not just me. It's been good things. I know we've had some bad moments. I know Gling was telling me about something shitty that happened. And we've all had some moments, right? But life's good. Oh, it's no big deal, Gling. It was over really fast. And unfortunately, he's got some demons to battle with. And I wish him the best. There's no hard feelings here. I used to be a very bitter person when I was younger and very resentful. And I can't live like that. It's best to just have peace. And I wish the best for everybody. Baby Crusaders. Exactly. All these. I love it. I love it. I love it. We all do. We all have things. They eat like horses and scream like banshees. Fantastic. See, there's so much good news from everybody. I'm so glad to hear that. Slime's got his teeth, his nice brace-free teeth. Shit, Slime's been around. He's just a little whippersnapper. He's becoming a young man right in front of us, William's going to be 10 in 7 months or something. It's I feel like his birthday just happened. The little son of a bitch, he's growing up right in front of me. And he eats like a damn horse and screams like a banshee. So trust me, 4-legged plague, it never stops. They just keep doing it until you just want to hug them. It's really tight. But everybody's doing so good. I'm so happy. And I keep in contact with Chef. Her and I message back and forth. I'm just so happy for everybody, man. I know. See? Son's 11 and daughter turns 9 in November. Man, Ashley with those aggressive cuddles. I'm feeding one right now. That's awesome. Dude, life goes by quick. You got to enjoy every minute and live it to the fullest, So let me see what else is on here, because I know there was a couple things I wanted to cover. And of course, they show some pictures of these stupid things. And yeah, I did want to read this one. And then what I'll do is finish off. I'm going to talk about this book. I'm going to talk about books for a minute, and then we'll go ahead and finish things up. Man, 47 years old, severely mauled by pit bull in September. He died while hospitalized in San Antonio. Okay. He sustained severe injuries from a large pit bull September 5th. He died at Brooke Army Medical Center October 1st. His attack marks the fifth consecutive dog mauling in San Antonio, which began on February 24th when Ramon Nejeres Jr., 81 years old, was killed by two pit bulls. Firefighters were fighting off these pit bulls with pickaxes and pipe poles, trying to get to the patients. Anything that takes that much fucking effort to fight with needs to be eliminated from the planet. I'll stand by that for the rest of my life. Jesus Christ. Two American Staffordshire Terriers severely attacked this man at a mobile home park. The victim was in his 40s. The man was sitting in his own backyard when the dogs residing in the mobile home next door were let outside. These dogs appear to have escaped the next door fence, which led to the attack. This is why I take these loose dog shits so seriously. And motherfuckers look at me like I'm crazy. And I don't give a fuck. No. The victim was bitten on both arms, the stomach, and causing serious injuries, and he was in critical condition in the hospital. Neighbors and nearby persons intervened to rescue the victim from the dogs. The two American Staffordshire Terriers are currently in the custody of Animal Care Services, and the dogs remain under the 10-day state-mandated quarantine at ACS. The dogs are an unsterilized male and unsterilized female. So we know what that means. They planned on breeding these fucking things. The attack, which could be, this should be completely fucking illegal. If we could just start with, and I've said this before, force these people to have professional fecal matter cleanup. Force them. And force them to sterilize all these things. You'd see dog ownership drop like crazy. They're not going to pay to have this shit professionally taken away, and start fining and ticketing these people for it. Okay? And tell them they can't breed these things. And just watch how fast it goes away. The attack occurred while Striegel was in the backyard of his home. He was sitting in a chair smoking a cigarette when the neighbor's two pit bulls, a pair of breeding, XL pit bulls, slipped under the chain link fence that separated the two properties. Because leave it to motherfuckers in a mobile home park to be breeding extra large bullies. Yeah, I was raised in a mobile home park. I'm allowed to say that. All right. One of the two pit bulls, a male named Shitbird and a female named Useless Piece of Shit. Only the male inflicted the attack, according to neighbors and friends. Okay. And Striegel, the man who was killed, was well acquainted with both dogs. During the attack, Striegel's roommate, Chuck, who was 62 years old, ran outside with a gun to stop the mauling. It was just a nightmare, Sutton said. I knew that day the damage had been too much. According to the police report, both of Striegel's arms were destroyed by dog bites. Firefighters had to apply tourniquets on his arms to control the bleeding. Striegel's condition at the hospital seemingly stabilized, but then he developed multiple fungal infections. No flesh, no muscle, nothing. No arm left but bone. Sutton said, describing Striegel's injuries, have you ever seen what a bear can do to a human body? Because that's the best way I can describe it, he said. Jonathan Adair, 46, and a lifelong friend of Striegel, said the infections worsened his condition and that he suffered heart, kidney, and liver failure and a collapsed lung. He had to be placed onto a breathing machine. The dog's owner, Gregory Palmer, 54, called the attack just a terrible thing. Palmer was at work when his dogs attacked. He blamed his girlfriend's elderly mother for letting the dogs outside without his knowledge. He also alleged the victim reached his hand under the fence line. The audacity of these people. It's always be euthanized. By that point, Striegel's left forearm had been amputated up to the elbow. The other pit bull, the female, was sterilized before Palmer could reclaim her. At the time of the attack, both dogs were 3.5 years old and unsterilized. Palmer had been breeding his dogs, as depicted on his Facebook page. The female was in heat at the time, too. Thankfully, neither of these dogs will ever be bred again. During the dangerous dog hearing, investigator Miriam Martinez played an audio recording of an account provided by Stragel from his hospital bed. It says, "I was by the fence playing with the dogs. He got jealous. He got mad. He nipped at her. I told him to quit. Stop it. That's when he bit the female. Once a bite, that's when the male bit him. Once a dog bites you one time and you get freaked out, then they freak out even more," he said. Striegel, who is seen playing with the pit bulls on his Facebook page, called the attack a freak accident. So even the guy who died is nuts. Brandon Posey, the fire department paramedic, also testified during the hearing. In addition to both of Striegel's arms destroyed by dog bites and the application of tourniquets, there were obvious fractures to his left forearm, with large chunks of muscle and skin missing from both arms. Due to his injuries, paramedics could not put intravenous lines into Striegel's arms. Instead, they placed IVs in his feet to administer medication. So then they go back through a bunch of these attacks that I read about from other counties. It's fucking disgusting. It is. It's insane. Oh my God. I can't. So happy to hear you'll be streaming regularly, Ashley. I have no idea how much I've missed you in this community, being active since you took a break. I'm glad you're doing better. Thank you so much, Crab Soup. I'm so glad to see everybody here. I really, really am. Serena said, I still upload videos, just mostly family stuff. Right on. Crab Soup said, relation I ended up was going to shit. My ex is a terrible person. I wish I saw the signs sooner. Well, just wish them well and stay away from them and just take it as a learning lesson. You know, it's all you can do, because the bitterness doesn't help. You know, dog owners are given way too much slack. They need to criminalize these dog maulings. I completely agree. All right, four-legged plague. So glad to see you. Enjoy your family. Much love. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up talking a little bit about books, and I'm going to recommend a book that can help, well, Crab Soup and others. This book can enhance and ruin your life all at the same time. So it will teach you how to see warning signs, how to deal with people on a daily, how to recognize reading body language, all kinds of incredible stuff. I can't believe how much I actually thought about as I've been reading it. I've read all kinds of shit. I've read crazy stories about the Ebola cyclone. I've read, books about telekinesis. I've read books, did you name it? I've got a huge library and I'm a giant dork. So this is the book I'm reading right now, The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. This book is a fucking trip. Not only will you identify negative things about yourself, okay, and ways to correct that and come to terms with it, what it's like being raised by abusive parents or abandonment or enmeshment, how to handle having to be around. There's certain bosses, the CEOs, family members, the people that, you can't always avoid everybody. You can get away from all your shit family. I done it. But you can't get away from everybody. You're going to have, customers and all these different things. Oh, I get warnings from Facebook all the fucking time. YouTube's one that, because I'm, I cuss, but damn, yeah, I hope they figure their shit out, but I don't know. We're all still here, so it's hard telling. Anyways, I would suggest reading this book. It's a trip, and this author is incredible. Their other books are really great too. I've heard from a few people. So definitely try it out. It will teach you a lot about yourself and those around you, how to navigate. And I mean, just the stories in it are wild. They talk about a guy who got polio when he was young, and he was completely paralyzed for like 2 years. And he learned to read everyone's body language to the point that he can tell things about people. This woman walks up to him and is talking to him about something. And this is after he's done being paralyzed. He's walking around again and shit. And he goes, so how long have you been cheating on your husband? She's like, whoa, how'd you know that? he can tell just by the way people fold their hands, sit, their eyes, everything. I mean, so I've been picking up on a lot of this, and it's pretty wild, I gotta be honest. So if you're not a reader, you need audiobooks, the stories in here are wild, and they use historical stories and things like that to describe, well, Cosmos, they could just be bad at reading people. Or there are always people that just throw off different signals and shit too. It's an incredible book. I highly suggest getting it. It's a hell of a read. It'll put you on a spot. It's funny because I started recognizing they were describing how to tell if someone secretly hates you or is envious of you. And I'm like, word? Shit. Lots of people do that to me. And I was like, fuck. Well, it's a classic narcissism trait, crab soup, but everyone's narcissistic. Everyone, to some degree. I was a huge narcissist when I was younger. I'm not afraid to admit it. I was a nightmare. And, upon reading this, I'm seeing, not that I'm trying to point the finger and shit, but a lot of this was from my abandonment and the way I was raised and being raised by narcissists. And then he goes on to describe what it's like when you heal and turn those things into positive attributes and what that looks like. And it was like I was reading all these chapters about myself. I was like, what the fuck? And it's going through up to date. Like it came all the way up to like where I am today. And I'm like, holy shit, this is wild. And then it goes on into like all these different personality traits and how to live with and or avoid that. How do you protect yourself? Because you can't get away from all these people. Like I said, I can get away from all of my family because I know that they were all pieces of shit, right? But how do you defend yourself from people you can't just get away from, So it's okay, Joseph. You do what you got to do, dude. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. Video's gone on long enough. And I really, like I said, I just wanted to see if the computer was still going to work. So, and from the bottom of my dog-hating heart, I will never forget any of you sons of bitches that just showed up here today. Because honestly, I thought I was just going to do a video talking to myself. And you guys might see it later and be like, holy shit, look, Ashley's making videos again. But here the fuck I am, and here the fuck you guys are, and it's fantastic. I'm fucking stoked, man. It has been ages. I'm so excited. So next video, I promise, I'm going to have a lot more set up. I've missed all of you. I'm going to have a lot more set up. I'm going to go back to doing like dog videos. I'm going to talk about this and that. I'm going to recommend some books. I want to do some more shit, okay? I will do a longer stream in the future. I will set up and let everybody know. Look at the community board on the YouTube channel to see that. There's also the Dogs Are Garbage Facebook page still exists. I'm going to, Beanie Girl, my OG80, she just had a surgery not long ago. We've been keeping in touch. So she's still healing and lots of positive changes in her life too. So everybody stick to the positivity, stay above all of this bullshit that tries to come your way. Try to avoid the toxic people. If you run into them and you've got it happens. Just take your hits, man. Learn from it. Become a better person. Wish that person well. Let go of the bitterness. Just forgive and move the fuck on. It's a very empowering, healthy way to deal with things rather than to be deep breathing. Exactly. Take a walk, exercise, do something, But until next time, from the bottom of my dog-hating heart, I appreciate and love every one of you. And we'll be back at this soon. I'm going to make time for this. I'm going to set myself up a little area here. And much love to y'all. And I'm just so freaking excited. I really am. So until next time, y'all. Fuck Fluffy. And we'll be doing this again soon. Probably not this Friday, next Friday. Peace.